holding men accountable, but just making sure we doing what we need to do on our end to get the type of results that we want.
For sure.
And it was never pointing the finger type of thing. It was never, oh, bitches ain't shit, this and that. Never been my lane.
Right.
It's always, what can I do to get the results I want?
Yeah.
So that's why that's necessary for sure.
For sure. And I think right now it's more necessary than ever. You know what I'm saying? I think honestly, I ain't trying to. This show is geared towards men, so we ain't nothing that we saying up here trying to placate to women or whatever the case may be. But I honestly think that women are changing and men are staying the same. I think that that's the big problem and the divide that we see in this gender war shit. When we talk about incels, when we talk about woman bashes, man bashes, I think that we all was raised by people who were used to traditional gender roles. Even if we wasn't raised to do those gender roles and we don't practice those gender roles, our parents, grandparents, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, they was raised on the gender role. That was just a way of the world. And we getting further and further away from that. And obviously, our generation is the furthest away from that so far. And with those gender roles dissolving, people don't know what to do because it was simple before. It was like, I'm a man, I go make money, I need to find a woman to take care of me, you know, health-wise, nurture-wise, and she need a nigga to take care of her financially. It was very simple.
Yeah.
Now, it's not that simple because you got women going to work and saying like
more money.
And whether they make more money, less money, whatever the case may be, is like
they can provide for themselves.
Yeah, and they can provide for themselves, and they might need somebody at home to do. You know what I'm saying? Like we have the same. A lot of times we have the same strengths and the same weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women are breadwinners, like you just said, but when it come down to it, as a man, now if your value is providing and protecting, the world is safer than it used to be, and the world is also like women also provide for themselves. So now what's your worth?
Yeah.
Now what makes a woman want to stay with you regardless, like no matter what? You know what I'm saying? I think that's the real issue and what we need to solve.
When you just said that, what's your worth? That's gonna come self-development. I don't attach my worth to, you know, just because I can provide and protect or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just a valuable person overall. Like me, not on no cocky shit, but just me being, me fucking with you, it's gonna be better for you. Just because how I am.
Useful.
I'm useful. It ain't really got nothing to do with how much I'm making and what I'm doing for you. Well, not what I'm doing for you for sure. But just overall, if you don't see me as low key, what you said it before. I don't think there's nothing that you could do to make me not feel like a man or feel like a man.
Yeah.
I just feel that way.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. I think to dig a little deeper into the issue, into the problem, is that you don't have to be good to people that need you, right?
That's true.
So like, if you need your job, your boss doesn't have to be good to you. He don't have to be a nice guy because you need your job. If you need to stay with your parents, they don't really have to be nice to you because you need them.
Yeah.
But the moment that you get another job offer, like, bitch, you better stop playing with me. Or the moment you get some self-sufficiency and you don't really need your parents, it's like, all right, let's put some respect on this shit now. Like, I'm not a child no more,
That's
right?
where you're going.
So, historically, women have needed men.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to be good to them. Like, I make the bread. I got a family across town. Deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got, you know, we was beating women. We was cheating on them. We was doing all these things. But it's like, we had the bread. They needed. Like, what you gonna do? Go back to your mama's house? You can't work. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't have those type of opportunities. Now that they don't really need us, like when I say, I do think men and women need each other, but on a financial survival level, women don't need us. To keep a woman, you have to be good to her. Yeah. Niggas want to do everything but be good to her. Niggas want to, I'm going to get in the gym and get some muscles and get these bitches. Right. I'm going to go get some more bread and get these bitches. It's like, no, bro. They not trying to hear that shit no more. Like, it don't work no more. And I think a lot of, on social media in the male personal development space is telling men, bro, go work out. Yeah, go get some more money. Like, that's, and then you're going to get all, like, but you're not going to keep them, bro. If you don't have sexual discipline, if you don't have emotional intelligence, if you don't have a deep sense of self and presence as a man, you're not going to be able to keep a woman today. Not today's woman. You're not.
Yeah. it's a lot of you're not gonna be. Women are attracted to different things now. Of course, women are always gonna be attracted to stability and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's not what's at the forefront. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be a Swiss Army knife.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You do have to have those things, even though it's so crazy. Even though that's not what they're looking for mainly, you do need to have it still. Yeah. You do need to be in shape. You do need to, you know what I'm saying, be emotionally intelligent. All of these things. But what will make you stand out, what we don't want to happen with men is, like you're saying, you go focus on getting your money up without working on yourself. This happens a lot. Niggas get their bread up, but they like kind of the same person. You know what I'm saying? And it's not an astronomical jump in the income, because I do think you got to be a certain type of person to make a certain type of money. Some people do get lucky, but your character kind of gonna bring you back down or bring the income back down.
Right.
But it's a lot of women that deal with men with money, but they don't respect them. They goofy. They look at them as like a resource. Okay, cool. Versus it's a nigga who maybe not have as much money as him, but he got all these other boxes, and she's more attracted to that.
And she's cheating on you with a nigga who got half as much bread as you, and you can't figure out why. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to work on the other things.
And if you put the money at the forefront, she gonna put the money at the forefront.
Yeah.
So if she looking at it like the money matters the most, because you looking at it like that, when a nigga show up with some more bread than you, and you ain't treating her right, she's fucking out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it gotta be, you gotta know yourself, learn what your gifts are that you can give abundantly in a situation. And I feel like you have to be an iPhone. You say it's Swiss Army life. I always say you gotta be an iPhone, right? And what I mean by being an iPhone is that, you know, the world was perfectly fine before smartphones came out. Like, we wasn't begging for smartphones. We didn't even know what they were, right? The world was cool, right? And all of a sudden, we got these iPhones, and they had flashlights on them. They had navigation systems in them. They had phone books in them. You don't need a dictionary, an encyclopedia. You can't even remember a phone number these days, right?
Right.
So this iPhone was so useful because it covered all of these different needs for us. And now, if you take the phone away, people can't even get from here to a new restaurant.
In their own city.
They don't even know how they they don't know directions for shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we've become so reliant on this thing because of how useful it was. And I feel like in a relationship, that's where you want to be. You want to first date somebody who's perfectly fine, who doesn't necessarily need you, right? Who's not like in dire need of you.
I'm gonna pick in on that too.
You want to come into that person's life and be so useful that they know if you were to leave, they would be in a pretty bad spot. Like they have a hard time functioning, because it's like, damn, I ain't had to deal with a fucking oil change since I met this nigga. I ain't had to, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like the sink
Women
clog.
definitely feel that when good niggas leave, and let's say they fuck it up or they just leave away, like motherfuckers, oil changes, gas, especially in Chicago.
Her hair done clogged the sink up for the 100th time. He fix that shit every time. Now she like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do? Like, she lost.
Chicago, snow, all of that. It's like that. You really see the value that somebody was bringing when it's not there no more.
Exactly. And I think it's men, you know, we can't be going into a situation worried about being unappreciated, hurt from my last situation because this didn't work out, because that didn't work out. You come into a situation, you give abundantly, you know what I'm saying? And you give from the heart. It's not a bitter thing if you don't get, you know what I'm saying, what you get. You give because that's who you are. Like, you come into your life and you be you. You know what I'm saying?
And I've been fortunate enough. I've definitely got my heart broken before, did wrong. But no situation has ever tainted me so much where I categorized all women. Yeah. Everybody who ever messed with after that situation got a clean slate. Like, I've never held on to, that bitch, she did me dirty. I'll probably be delusional. She probably won't do that. Everybody just gets a fresh start. So I never had that residual hate. Yeah.
Now I will say I have seen the good in women in that same way. But they get a clean slate as far as how I feel about them, but they won't get a clean slate as far as like on some hurt people shit. Like, that bitch did me wrong. Hey, I'm just a savage now. Like, I'm just on that type of time now.
That never happened to me.
That never happened either?
No.
Because I trust her, but it's like, bitch, you better not trust me. I'm hurt, bitch. I'm trying to fuck everything walking now.
Nah, I ain't never had to go through that.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's a fucked up situation. Another thing I think that's important about this show that y'all gonna see play out on this show is that the building of confidence, is just super important as a man. And for me, it came slow. For you kind of just had it all the way. You know what I'm saying? So for me, for example, the guy I am today, how social I am, how, I can just walk up to a woman and talk to a woman,
Yeah.
make eye contact with a woman, hold eye contact, whatever, flirt with a woman, all this shit, right?
Uh-huh.
All these things I can do, all these, personable characteristics I have, they came over time. Like I wasn't that guy in elementary school. I wasn't that guy in high school. When I first got to college, I was kind of like in the background, but I was still winning. But I slowly became, I slowly got closer and closer to that. Maybe towards the end of high school, I started to like gain my confidence. But I remember a time where I couldn't shoot my shot at a pretty girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I walked up to a pretty girl and started talking to her and she looking at me, I'm thinking about how my face looked to her. Like
right.
I'm losing my fucking frame of thought. I can't even. Yeah. I'm lost. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing like a fool on a movie or something. Like it's terrible. So, it's somebody who experienced building that up over time. Mm-hmm. I think this show is gonna be great in that regard for guys who need to go through that process because I actually went through it. You know what I'm saying?
You could easily get caught. We can easily get caught up in like our world as far as like we're good with women. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Most men aren't.
Yeah.
Like most men don't have the confidence to just walk up to a woman and have that conversation and shoot a shot. How many times we seen on social media or just heard women say a nigga seen them and a day later they get in the DM like I saw you last night.
Yeah.
Like what?
Or they just stare at them the whole night.
Stare at them
say
the whole
shit.
night.
You know what I'm saying?
So we definitely I can't wait for that part of the podcast when we talk about how do you build that confidence? Yep. Where does that come from?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you start now. Like we in our 30s. Like you can be 30 years old and listen to this podcast. We're gonna teach you how to start fresh and build that confidence up. Where it's gonna come from, how it's gonna be true confidence and not, you know what I'm saying, it's not gonna come from external things because that's false confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas, you hide behind your clothes, your jewelry.
You buying your self-esteem over the counter.
Exactly. I got that shit in my jogging pants or if I'm dressed. And we want to teach guys how to get that.
Yeah, and I can't wait to get to that either. We're going to talk about firing from the hip.
Yeah.
Like just being able to see a chick and just shoot. Because I remember you was telling me a story of how you shot at a girl like a DoorDash delivery or something.
Yeah.
So that's a situation where you don't got your fit on. Like you in the crib with a fucking white beater and some shorts on. Shorty, you open the door like, damn, I'm on it. Like she right here right now. Like, a lot of guys definitely can't do that. So we going to get into all that type of stuff, man. But we also gonna get into some dope events for kids. One of my favorite quotes from Frederick Douglass is it's easier to build strong boys than to repair broken men. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have some events for young men as well. And like I said, it's gonna be a platform in the community for all males to just grow in different areas. You know what I'm saying? So looking forward to all that, man.
And just to touch on community a little bit, we are going to build that community where men can come here and learn, grow, meet other like-minded men, mm-hmm. men who think like you.
Yeah.
Because if you like a lone wolf, it's better in the pack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you got a solid community with like-minded niggas,
yep.
You're most likely that's gonna rub off on you. You're gonna start picking up the characteristics of other good men. And, taking from their game or, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I like how he handled himself when he do this, X, Y, Z. Or that nigga always be on time. He be talking about you'll start to pick up little small things. But if you're not seeing it, if you always by yourself, if you the nigga who don't trust nobody, you only learning from yourself.
Absolutely. And I also think that, on a parenting side, mm-hmm. you know what I'm saying? Like thinking about how just like you can meet a man and his confidence rub off on you. Mm-hmm. Your lack of confidence can rub off on your son. You know what I'm saying? Your lack of ambition, your lack of direction in life can rub off on your kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if your kid grew up not seeing you chase anything, not seeing you want more out of life, like whether you just work and I ain't shaming 9 to 5s, but let's say you just work a regular entry level type 9 to 5, and your son grow up watching that, it's like what example are you leaving for him to aspire to be more? So, and I'm not saying it's about how much money you make, but even if you just want to chase something, even if you just say, you know what, I want to be a photographer. I work at Walmart, cool, I'm a cashier at Walmart, but I'm into photography and I want to chase that on the side. And I'm going to take my son with me and on these photography jobs on the weekends. And he could be able to grow up and say, like, I saw my dad chase something.
It ain't
like,
even about, of course you want to achieve anything you go after, but you also teaching your son, your daughter, whoever, what it's like to chase something. Even if you and they're gonna see how you respond if it doesn't work out.
For sure.
And they get to see how you respond if it does work out.
Yeah.
But you do get to witness that process of growing. Because when you chasing something and you're trying to achieve something, you have to grow as a person to get the shit. You know, you gotta learn, you gotta be disciplined, especially if you're trying to succeed at it. So your kids, like my son, I love the fact that my store that I had to for the listeners that didn't know, I opened up a clothing store. I had it online at first, and I got a brick and mortar. My son saw that whole process. He would see me in the basement with the clothes everywhere on the floor. I'm like, what you doing, Dad? I'm gonna, I got a pop up shop. He seen me getting ready for pop up shops.
Yeah.
Then he see I'm opening up the store. He in the store with me, and then when I closed the store, he like, man, what happened to the store? And I gave him that real conversation. Like in business, you take risks, etc.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna be afraid to take a risk when he get older.
Yeah.
It's gonna be plenty of examples. And I'm doing something right now. He called me on my computer. I'm like, what you doing? I'm working on XYZ and building the app. He's like, damn, that's raw as hell.
Yeah.
So your kids definitely need to see you do things outside of your 9 to 5. I do think that.
Absolutely. Same thing with my son, man. Watching the process of even me getting this building to building this studio, like me and TJ really like coming down here, putting up drywall, laying floors, and doing all of this, and him just really knowing about like FC Network and what it is. I remember he was telling me, I'm like, I used to drop him off at the school bus every morning, and it'd be one kid to get on the bus with him. I'm like, you ever talk to that kid? The kid was older though. The kid looked like he was about 6th grade. My son was in 2nd grade at the time. I'm like, you ever talk to that kid? Like, it'd just be you and him, like on the school bus, at least at this stop, at least. And he like, yeah, I went to him one day and was like, you know about FC Network? And I'm like, bro, I don't even want you to know too much about FC Network, really. Like, I'm glad that you know that it exists and it's a thing, but it's kind of wild. But so I think all of these conversations come back to purpose, even in relationship. When you're in alignment with purpose, it's gonna change the woman that you pick. It's gonna change the woman that you choose to spend time with. It's gonna change your habits. Like right now, I'm on a sex fast. I'm on a sex fast because of purpose, not because of anything that went wrong, but because I felt like I was getting distracted, a little overwhelmed, and it's easy. I've been on sex fast before because I went to therapy and ended up finding out I had a sex addiction. We're gonna get into that later. Some of y'all already know this already, but back then it was super hard to do the sex fast because I wasn't doing what I'm doing right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So on them nights where like sex was my vice, right? Yeah. So the same way niggas be running from their thoughts, running from their emotions, so they gotta get drunk, they gotta smoke, they gotta do this, they gotta do that. My thing was sex. Yeah. Right? And that was like day 3 of the sex fast, I'm fucked up because it's just like the sex fast wasn't just sex, it was no sex, no porn, no masturbation, no sexual contact, no girl spending the night, no none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't. So now when I'm having them moments, I can't do shit. Like I don't drink and smoke. That's not my thing. Like I'm not gonna start now either. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a struggle. Now that I have way more purpose in life, bro, it's like I got so much shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Like in those moments, I have so much shit to get done. We got to work on roles I did. I got to work on this. I got to work on that. It's just a lot easier. I'm a lot more disciplined, and discipline transfers over to other parts of life. Sexual discipline, financial discipline, dietary discipline, fitness discipline. You know what I'm saying? All these different things, and also going through different things with women. Like I've been in situationships, dating for forever. You know what I'm saying? And recently, I will have situations with a woman I know, like if this happened 5 years ago, I would really feel away right now. Like probably for the next 3 weeks, I'd be like, damn, they're feeling away, constantly calling shorty, like, damn, what's up? What's the problem?
I hate that version of me.
Now, I got shit to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this thing, it's not even like a fake thing where it's just like I'm just avoiding it. It's like this thing just don't hit the same because it's just like, okay, she wasn't the goal. And I think that's what purpose teach you. Like, the girl isn't the goal. The goal is happiness.
Yeah.
If the goal is marriage, for example, if you want to be married, you want to have a relationship, the goal is marriage and a healthy relationship. The goal is not her.
Whoever that may be, and that because that her is gonna change in throughout the process.
Because if she ain't healthy, then it can't be her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So understanding that, like, if you got purpose and intention and all those characteristics in life, everything has to align with that. When something doesn't, it don't hurt to let it go.
I remember
You know what I'm saying?
time I was feeling the way about somebody,
Yeah.
and you told me that.
Told you what?
You like this was I don't want to say her name. You know, but I was messing with her, and that situation was kind of like going downhill.
Yeah.
And you like, bro, like, I mean, it's not her. Your
Yeah.
goal is XYZ.
Yeah.
Not her. And nigga, a light bulb switch when you said that. And I'm like, you know what? Bet.
Yeah,
That
it
was
ain't about her. So, and I think, you know, we gonna definitely jump into a lot of, it sound cringy or cliche maybe, but self-love, that sound like something that's reserved for women almost. Like they do their self-love brunches and shit like that. And we're gonna talk a lot about
meditation, all that shit, journaling, therapy.
Yeah.
That shit is healthy.
Self-respect, self-love is definitely gonna save you from a lot of situations, a lot of blowing chicks' phones up, begging for your girl back, a lot of dumb shit.
We are gonna bind that. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, a lot of dumb
have
shit.
some dignity. Have some dignity,
for sure. Moving on to another segment. Jody, what time we at?